What if everything you thought you knew about EVs was wrong? EVs are too heavy, EVs are ruining roads, EVs are not suitable for cold climates, and they don't last. Let's talk about it. I'm Simonas, welcome to my channel. First thing, EVs are too heavy, they ruin roads, and tires don't last. Studies show that actually it's trucks which damage roads more than electric cars. Moreover, for example, Tesla Model Y weighs 1,780 kilograms. Nissan Qashqai, which is very similar size car, weighs 1,730 kilograms. The difference is 50 kilograms. That's roughly the weight of a full tank of fuel, about one passenger in a car. On average, it's exactly the same. Number 2, EVs are not suitable for cold climate. Very strange argument you can read all the time in online discussion forums, that EVs are really not suitable for cold climate. Norway, which is one of the cold countries, have about 80% of total cars sold being EVs. Driving EVs at night with lights on and the heating on drains power. That is actually not true again. Modern cars like this, like Tesla Model 3, which is a 77 kilowatt-hour battery, it consumes about 2 kilowatt-hours an hour for the heating and lights during the winter. Energy consumption breakdown. Lights use about 100 watts, so in 1 hour it uses 0.1 kilowatt-hour. Cabin heating uses between 1 and 2 kilowatts, so in 1 hour it uses between 1 and 2 kilowatt-hours. Having in mind that the battery is about 70 kilowatt-hours, that's not an issue at all. Infotainment system uses about 50 watts of electricity, so during the 1 hour it uses 0.05 kilowatt-hours. All of this is so little, and it's actually negligible if you have in mind full battery capacity of electric vehicle. What it means that you can run heating and lights on for more than 24 hours and this car will still have power enough to drive to the nearest charger if needed to. Number 4, EV batteries does not last. Fact, EV batteries last more than 300 or 500,000 kilometers. Tesla claim that the battery will last about 1 million kilometers at least. Tesla's warranty is that after 150,000 kilometers, the battery capacity will be more than 75%. It's super rare occasion that they have to replace a battery as a... For example, this car already done more than 100,000 kilometers or more than 65,000 miles. Battery degradation is... I still got about 95% of the battery, of original battery capacity remaining. Number 5, EVs are too expensive. Well, that's not entirely true. Actually, EV prices are falling down, they're dropping. There are a lot of incentives from the manufacturers, by the governments and by the manufacturers itself in order just to sell more EVs. Second-hand EV is actually quite affordable. As an example, MG4 EV, which is electric vehicle, as a new cost £30,000 or less. That's comparable to the same size petrol car. Total cost of ownership, it's absolutely on the EV side. There is almost no maintenance. The 1 mile or 1 kilometer costs between 2 and 3 cents per kilometer or per mile. That's cheap. Can you find at least one petrol or diesel car which has these figures? You have no annual maintenances, or that maintenance is so cheap, you have no oil changes, and your 1 mile costs you about 3 cents, or 1 kilometer costs you about 2 cents of electricity. In this case, it's so cheap. Number 6, you cannot travel long distances with EV. That is not true. EVs now have long ranges. This one can do more than 300 miles or more than 500 kilometers in one single charge, going from 100% to 0%. In that case, if you arrive at the charger with 10% with preconditioned battery, you plug it in and you go for your break, you return 25 minutes later and the car is charged back to 80%, and that 80% will give you more than 250 miles or more than 400 kilometers to drive again. I already traveled more than 100,000 kilometers or more than 65,000 miles with my car. And I can tell you that's the easiest travels you can ever have. You drive between 2 and 3 hours between the stops. That's a lot of time of driving alone. After 2 or 3 hours, you already start to think that you might want to have a little bit of a stop, a little bit of a break. You stop, you plug your car, you go to the loo, you grab a cup of coffee, you grab something to drink, maybe some small snack, you return to your car. 25 minutes later, car charged already from 10% to 80% in that time. So that's very easy and very convenient. And then you learn that you don't have to drive for 6 or 7 hours non-stop. You just drive those 3 hours, you take a short break. After 3 hours, you drive more than another 3 hours. Very easy, no inconvenience at all. Number 7, there is no charging infrastructure. That is not true. If you use some of the apps like Octopus Electroverse or Charge Map or Zap Map in UK, or if you even use something like a better route planner, you can see that there is so much of infrastructure. You don't notice that because you don't look for it, but once you're starting to see, once you start to look for it, you start to notice that it's plenty of infrastructure, and most important thing, you almost never use it. Only in the long trips, it's when you use it, and what it happens, car actually makes all the trip around the infrastructure by itself, so you don't have to think where to stop, when to stop, car will do it for you. Number 8, what will you do if there is a power outage? Fun fact, power outages affect petrol stations as well. You cannot pump petrol or diesel into the tank if there is no power. Pumps don't work, pumps need power. So that's absolutely exactly the same. Another thing, power outages are quite rare, and if you have your own house, what you can have solar power. You can have solar panels and you can charge from the sun. You don't even care about power outages anymore. Most of EV owners, they charge at home, so what it means that you don't really care if there is a power outage at the petrol station, you always can get back home and charge at home. And if you have solar, that's even easier. You always have power, you don't have to worry about it. Number 9, chargers are unreliable. That is not true. Most of the charging networks are super reliable, despite the fact that most of the time you charge at home. If you go to charge to the public charger, you will have them running. Fun fact, yes, in some cases chargers might fail, the same as pumps at petrol station. You come at the petrol station, one pump is not running. What happens then? You either queue for another one or you go to another pump station. Exactly the same comes to electric chargers. Some of them fail, but with good maintenance, their reliability improves significantly. If you look at the charging network which is reported in your car, most of those will report what chargers are available, which is not available, and they report if there is any fail. I traveled a lot, and it's been extremely rare occasion when I see that non-working charger, and if I see one, I just charge at the next one. Number 10, you spend so much time charging. Well, that's not true. You just spend about 10 seconds to charge your car every day. In the evening, you return home, you plug in your car. It takes about 5 seconds. In the morning, you unplug your car. It takes another 5 seconds. 10 seconds, that's how much time it takes to charge your car. If you charge on a public charger, that's about 25 minutes to charge from 10% to 80%. That's enough to drive another 2 up to 3 hours on the motorway speeds to another charger. 25 minutes is roughly about that time how much it takes for you just to go to have a break, just to go to the loo, or if you need to grab a coffee and maybe to have a snack. Most of EV owners, they charge during the time they have a lunch or they have a break. Super easy. All the time when your car does nothing, it charges. Very simple. Number 11, you cannot tow a trailer, and that is incorrect. There are so many, all EVs, they can tow a trailer. Yes, your range drops, you have to stop maybe a little bit more often, but you definitely can tow a trailer. Because they have so much torque, but actually towing a trailer, it's so easy. Many manufacturers have option to install a towing hook on existing cars. If they cannot tow anything, why they have this option? For example, Tesla Model X can tow a trailer which weighs more than 2,000 kilograms. If you like this video, if you have something to say, please feel free to put that in your comment. If you want to say something bad, feel free to do it. Press your like button. There is also a dislike button. Press any of those. I'm more than happy to receive any feedback from your side. Please press like and subscribe for more similar videos, similar myth-busting videos, and feel free to share it with your friend if they have the same misconceptions in their mind and this video might help them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye.